This is the story of a tiny kitten with all the odds stacked against her, but somehow she keeps holding on. This is a story all about Muse, so let's go back to the beginning. Now I have to warn you that this story may not have a happy ending, so if you're sensitive, you may want to skip this video. So a couple of weeks ago, Ryan texted me and said he had found some kittens. And he said they had a Manx kitten. And I was excited because Manx! I don't know why, but I really love Manx cats. I think someone in my childhood had one and it just stuck with me all these years. And he had already told the guy that I love Manx cats, and so we would probably want that one and one of the other ones. So we arranged to pick them up. We had been wanting to get kittens for a while. We tried a few times and it just never worked out. We have an older cat who usually really loves to have other cats around to teach them and to hunt with them, but this time he didn't react that well. He came inside and he sniffed the kittens and immediately puked. Then he tried to steal their food and puked again. And then he ran away and went outside, and he just stayed outside a lot for the first few days. So he is getting better about being around them a tiny bit, but it's a slow process. He's not aggressive with them or anything like that. He just gets really annoyed. So the first couple of nights, we kept the kittens in the bathroom. They had diarrhea, and they didn't know the place yet, so it seemed like the best idea to keep them in a small area that we could clean up afterwards. And then we got one of our dog kennels and decided to use that instead, and it worked much better. The first 2 nights in the bathroom, they meowed incessantly. They just wouldn't stop, and none of us got any sleep. We thought we were gonna lose it. But the kennel, we used the kennel, we covered it at night, and they did so much better. The kittens had diarrhea and puffy eyes, and the Manx cat was very tiny and weak. She seemed kind of emaciated, and so we got really worried about them and called the vet. And so we did a stool sample, we brought them in. Yes, you're my baby. Okay, so unfortunately we got some bad news that this little sweetie has a bad infection. And she might not make it. So I don't know how much work I'm gonna get done this week. Trying to take care of babies. It's okay, guys. And, what ended up happening was they said that Lopin had really bad worms, so they gave him medicine for that. They found out that Muse was not having diarrhea. She actually had a vulval infection, and it was really bad. They gave us medicine to help her feel better, but they said that once it gets that bad, there's nothing they can do about it. So they said to give her the medicine and just wait and see what happens. When they weighed her, they had to do it twice because they didn't know if the scale was broken. She weighed 14 ounces, and her brother weighs 2 pounds and 6 ounces to get a sort of... It's been very eye-opening watching them together because they're so different. It's very, very obvious how sick and how small she has been. So we still don't know what's going to happen with her. We still don't know what's going to happen with her, but we've decided to try our best. So we're giving her medicine. We're giving her lots of good nutrition and some probiotics and things like that. We're having her walk around and try to climb things and trying to get her strength up. And so there's a very small, it seems like there's a small chance that she could make it. So we're just kind of aiming for that goal, and I'm trying really hard not to worry too much. Lopin is a very sweet and playful explorer. He has to go around the house and look at everything and check things out. He'll run up to our other cat Mario and try to play. Yeah, he can play for hours. He zips around. It's very cute. And then when he wants cuddles, he'll come over to you and meow a little bit and rub up against you, and he's just the sweetest thing. I'm gonna have to go get those cats. Are you gonna come down? You gonna make it? He's so funny. Muse is so sweet and she just wants to be cuddled all the time. And one thing we found out about her is that she absolutely loves human food. If you try to give her a tiny bite, she will bite through your finger. It's scary. She has tried to leap through the air to get to a sandwich. It's kind of hilarious, and I'm so glad that she is interested in food because she's so thin. We've been giving her little tiny bites to try, and we're being very careful not to give her very much human food because obviously that's bad for her stomach. What are you guys doing? Oh, buddy, you're too little to climb up that. Please don't. Cats again. Can you hear the cats meowing? Okay, let's make this quick. Muse is getting fluffy and fuzzy, so her hair is getting more healthy. She's been growing a tiny bit. She's a little bit longer. She can reach the water in her bowl better. And she isn't as weak. She's been climbing a little bit. It's very cute. So she is making improvements, but she is still struggling with discharge. She's still making a mess. Sometimes she drinks plenty and sometimes she doesn't want to drink as much water, so I have to give her some. She needs a lot of attention, like constant attention, and she doesn't play. So this guy wants to play all the time. He's so big. Look at that fuzzy guy. Like right now. But Muse does not play. I can show her toys. I can try and mess with her. She does not care about playing. She just ignores it. But yeah, I am trying to think positive. Okay, I'm looking at that little goal that I have, that little spot of maybe this is going to be okay. And I'm trying to kind of look in that direction and act towards that direction and see how it goes. But it's still hard, it's still overwhelming, and sometimes I have myself a little cry about it. I do feel like I'm always on high alert because meow, meow. And yeah, I do feel like I'm always on high alert, and I feel like I'm in this weird limbo because I have no idea what's going to happen. Muse, I love you. I love holding you and cuddling with you. I love watching you grow. And I just want to say, if you want to, try and fight. Try and fight to have more adventures with us. Today, I wanted to just share a little bit about the journey with my kitty. She seems to be getting better, but she's still very messy. I had to give her 2 baths today, and I'm trying to not get her too wet all the time. That's part of the problem. She's going to the bathroom on her ankles a lot, and they're getting a little bit raw, so I'm trying to keep them clean and give her medicine and stuff. Today, she was meowing incessantly. When I have to kennel her, I gotta phase that out because she can't handle it. But also, sometimes I have to do stuff, right? Yeah, she just meows incessantly, and then she chases me around because she wants to be held, which is understandable. Just not constantly. But anyways, so today just after she meowed, both times she had to be in the kennel, she just meowed incessantly. And So I had a little mini breakdown. I cried a little bit just because this is a lot to handle. And then, like 2 seconds later, she was running around. She ran after me today, which she doesn't do. And I kicked a little toy for Lopin to chase, and she ran after it too. And I mean, it was amazing. I mean, she doesn't play, she doesn't do that stuff. So watching her get stronger and want to do all the cat things just totally makes my day. But yeah, we've had a rough day today. I didn't even brush my hair. I mean, wow, it's a lot. But as long as we can do something about the constant feces, it's not your fault. Anyways, as long as we can figure this out. Oh, constant feces and constant meowing. So this is hard, and I don't know what to do next, but we're working on it. And we're getting fuzzier. Right, baby? Okay, it is time for a little update on my sweet baby here. Okay, 4 days ago, we went to a second vet. Yes, are you awake? We went to a second vet, and the news was not good. Excuse me. It's been a rough few days. Basically, they said that she does have a consistent infection, and she isn't really able to fight it. The reason she's so small is that she probably has some kind of a disease that is hindering her immune system. So they told us we should get her tested for leukemia or HIV. Yes, are you talking? Are you talking about it? Hi. I know. Are you too hot in there? There you go. Is that better? That's my girl. That's my girl. But, anyways, they said that she isn't formed all the way because she's a Manx. She doesn't have her last vertebrae. That's why she goes to the bathroom constantly. And the diarrhea is from some kind of infection that she just isn't fighting. So they said that she has other internal issues that they can't even see unless they do surgery. Oh, that's my sweet girl. So yeah, they gave us a couple of options. They said we could take her to a specialist. Or they could send us home with a little bit of medication for her to help her feel better, but it isn't going to fix anything. It's just going to help her feel better for a little while, help her with her infection for a bit, and the diarrhea. They gave us probiotics too. Or they gave us the option that we could euthanize her because they said she's really sick, she's not thriving, and it's not fixable. So they didn't, none of us wants her to be in pain and suffer. So, needless to say, we had a bit of grieving to do and a bit of a shift to do in my mindset. So I almost let them euthanize her, because the last thing that I want to do is let her suffer just because I want her to be around. And every day I'll think, oh, I'm so glad that I didn't. And then in the same day, she'll have some difficult times and I'll wonder if I did the right thing or not. But, okay. So what we've decided is, well, what I've decided is that I'm giving her all her medicine, giving her lots of time to play and cuddle and do all the kitty things, and giving her the best life that I can, keeping her nice and clean. How are you getting? Are you what? I'm doing everything I can to give her the best kitty life possible for right now. And while I'm doing that, I'm having my daughter look into a couple of places that... What? Look at this. Look at this funny girl. Look at this funny girl. She's so silly. My daughter is looking into a couple of places that take in special needs animals, a couple of sanctuaries, because they will have access to get her to a specialist and see if there is anything else they can do to help her. And they will have experience with this and more energy, more people to take care of her needs. And they'll have more understanding of what she needs and what they can do. So if they can help her, or, just give her the best life they can until she is in too much pain, and then, let her go at the proper time. They will have more help and experience and ability to take care of her. I can't. I am just barely. But there's no way I can take her to a specialist, and there's no way I could get her surgery if she needed it, or pay for expensive medications or anything like that. And I don't have enough energy to even do what I am doing, because I have my own chronic illnesses. I would like to take care of her and give her the best life possible, but I've had to shift my attitude to being a really great foster mom for right now, until I can find her a place that can give her more than I can. This is really hard. I guess if anybody else has gone through this or is going through this type of thing with their animals, you're not alone. It feels lonely, but you're not alone. And a lot of what has helped me to make decisions and get through things is shifting my perspective, because stuff hits me really hard. I'm extremely human and very emotional person, but being able to process it and think it through and switch the way I'm thinking about it really helps. So, yeah. That's all I've got for today. Okay, so we were trying to find a home for Muse, and we were looking at all the sanctuaries, and they ended up being full, even several hours away. So that was a no-go. We also looked into trying to get help paying her vet bills, so if we needed to keep her, that we could send her to a specialist. My daughter did so much work. I took care of the cat, but she looked up everything. She went to the vet with my husband. She looked into the sanctuaries. and got a whole bunch of information. She ended up putting a profile for Muse online and going on Facebook and trying to find someone who would be able to take her in. So thank you, Haley. And after we found out sanctuaries were full, then unfortunately we had a death in the family. So my husband and kids packed up and drove from Texas to Kansas and stayed there for a few days with friends and family. While they were gone, Muse declined again. She just stopped playing. She got an ear infection and fleas and worms, and she had a sore bum, and I really thought she wasn't going to make it. One time she was laying in my hands and I was petting her and she was falling asleep and she was purring really, really loud. And then all of a sudden, the purring, she breathed out and the purring just chopped off. It cut off and she stopped breathing for like 3 seconds. It freaked me out, but she was okay. But wow, talk about a scare. And as soon as my family came back, she started to get a little bit better. She started playing laying down instead of running around. She started playing a little bit laying down. Alright, so the most current update is that we actually did find a home for her. We found someone who has had Manx cats with this problem in the past, and she already has a specialist lined up because, you know, she's done this before and she wanted to take Muse in. And I'm flabbergasted. This is like a miracle to me. I don't know. I just can't imagine. Well, I can't imagine now. I can't imagine without being through this. I can't imagine someone being like, hey, I think I want a tiny kitten who is sick and might die and poops all the time constantly. You know what I'm saying? You know, just practically. Now that I've been through it though, I actually have looked at some stuff online. I was doing a little research and I found another cat with the same syndrome and I was like, oh, I just want to help him. I can't. I can't. But I desired to. So I get it now. But yeah, we were working really hard to keep her going, to keep her alive and help her with any of her issues until we could get her to someone who could take her to a specialist. We took her to the vet again before she left, and they didn't say her temperature was low, and they cleared her, so she does not have, they tested her, and she does not have AIDS or HIV. So that was a miracle as well. So glad she doesn't have something that's going to make her deteriorate like that. And they said they couldn't give her one of the tests they were trying to do because her bum hole was too small. So they think that is something that a specialist might be able to help with. So I packed up all of her things and Ryan and Anthony took her to her new mom, about 3.5 hours away. It's been rough. I have been crying off and on because of the loss and the separation, and, you know, worrying for her that she's having loss and separation as well. And I'm also really relieved that she is gonna get to go to a specialist and have the help that she needs. And I'm relieved that I don't have to clean up anymore. Anyway, I hope that you found this video interesting or helpful, and I'm looking forward to getting back into my other content. Bye!